Well, now then, to the next in our series, looking at our lost coastline.
Today we're focusing on seaside towns, once the most popular choice for family holidays. They've suffered in recent years through cheap flights abroad and lack of funding.
But now they're making a bit of a comeback. Kate Prout looks at the changing fortunes of our coastal towns.
Though we do like to be beside the seaside, certainly in this weather. Although we haven't always been that good at encouraging people to our coastline.
Would you like to see Felixstowe become a miniature Blackpool?
Not on your life I wouldn't. Let us stay quiet and composed, no jukeboxes, please.
No?
Felixstowe in Suffolk is one of the many resorts to really make its name in the late Victorian era, with an impressive pier, one of the longest in the country, which was destroyed during the war to stop enemy aircraft landing on it. But Felixstowe, like many seaside towns, went out of fashion. Until 3 years ago, when investment in the garden sparked further investment along the seafront.
I think there is a resurgence of interest, and you look at the South Coast, places like Hastings, Eastbourne, they're all enjoying a real resurgence, and on the East Coast, Felixstowe is doing really, really well. Lowestoft will be following, there's huge investment going into Lowestoft now, and you'll see Lowestoft really start to move forward in the next few years. And I don't see it stopping. As long as people come and they're enjoying the sunshine, enjoying the sea, why should it stop? I think it's a great place to be. I don't want to live anywhere else. I shall see my days out here.
Sands may not be a name that's synonymous with seaside resorts these days. That's reserved for nearby Clacton. But what a shame, because look at the quality of the beach and the water.
Despite its reputation, residents like David Broom have formed the Jaywick Sands Revival to try to bring back the good times to this stretch of Essex coastline.
A busy beach brings people, which brings economy to the area. We are supposedly one of the most deprived areas in the UK. I don't know where we rank on the list anymore. Last I heard, we were #1. And it doesn't need to be. There's such potential here, and that's what JSR is all about. Looking for grants and investment opportunities for business.
Jaywick isn't helped by the fact that no one knows who owns the beach, making it hard to get permission to do anything to it. With more of us staying nearer to home, especially if summers stay like this, more seaside resorts and villages will be, like Felixstowe, return to their former glory.
Well, two resorts in the east hoping to do precisely that are Hunstanton in North Norfolk and Lowestoft on the Suffolk coast. And the person they've turned to for help is the fashion designer turned coastal regeneration expert Wayne Hemingway, who joins us from his office in London. Thanks for joining us. So what have you got planned then for the two towns?
One of the first things we did is we got together with some creative minds and entrepreneurs and people who cared about the town, and we got them all together in a hotel and we asked them, what did they want from the town, what ideas did they have, and between us all we've come up with a festival which will be nationally significant, and it's on in June 2019, and it's called First Light, and it came from a very simple premise. One of the beaches in Lowestoft is where the sun comes up and the first light hits England. And that is quite a major thing. So we're having a festival that's on the longest, the longest day, the Midsummer's Day in June 2019. Well, it's on the closest Saturday to that, and it starts at midday, goes right through the night, and finishes at midday on the Sunday. The tide comes in and out twice, and it's an arts festival, meets a bit of music, very family orientated and very inclusive.
So that's the plans for Lowestoft. How's that going to differ from Hunstanton? Because obviously they share the same coastline, but very different places.
Hunstanton's very different. It's obviously a much, much smaller town than Lowestoft. It's got very, very different issues. It doesn't have a white sandy beach. Sadly, its beach in the main, certainly in South Hunstanton, has been washed away over the years. So at the moment, we're at the stage with Hunstanton where we're asking again the public, what are their ideas? And so at the moment you can go onto the Hemingway Design website, that's hemingwaydesign.co.uk, Scroll through until you find Hunstanton or click on coastal regeneration. And there is a survey, and we will genuinely listen to everybody. There's a number of issues with Hunstanton we've got to address, and that's the same as most coastal towns, in that there's been a reduction in the number of young people there, and when you look at statistics, it is generally the under 35s who start businesses and create employment, and that's what seaside towns need.
Well, Wayne Hemingway, good luck indeed with the project. We look forward to seeing the results over the coming years. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, that is the vision. Let's get reaction to Wayne Hemingway's proposals. Kate Prout joins us now from Hunstanton. Kate, what do people in the town think about Wayne's plans?
Well, Sunny Honey is on the Wash, and as you can see, the beach is more of a doing beach. It's for water sports and cockling and pony rides and things like that. So they do rely on other attractions to keep the crowds drawing in. So who better to ask about the future of Hunstanton than the Mayor herself? Amanda, thanks so much for joining us. Is Wayne Hemingway's vision the right one for Sunny Honey?
We certainly hope so. We're looking forward to seeing the innovative ideas that come out of the current consultation process.
But you don't really want to change the atmosphere of the town, do you?
No, absolutely, and that will be the challenge, to enhance the seafront but not lose the heart of the seafront that everyone's come to love throughout the generations.
Yourself included, you used to holiday here as a child, didn't you?
I certainly did. Have very happy memories of this town.
Well, it's going to be expensive, I'm imagining. I mean, where is this money coming from?
Well, that will be the next challenge for our coastal community team and Borough Council. But innovation isn't always the most expensive, is it?
Well, please invite us back when it starts happening. We'd love to see what happens.
We'd love to welcome you back.
It's great to see our seaside resorts are on the up. Next week, I'll be looking at some places that haven't fared quite so well. We're looking at the lost villages and towns of Norfolk and Suffolk that have disappeared into the North Sea forever.
Wonderful. Look forward to that. Thank you very much, Kate.
So that